Bam! Gunfires, and the race is on. Runners set off across the field. It rained the day before, the ground is still damp, and the temperature is cool, so it's a perfect day for running. The line of runners quickly form a pack, and like a school of fish, they come together as one, move as one, and the pack starts to set the pace for the race to maximize energy for the whole race. And as with any race, within a very short period of time, stronger runners starts to pull further ahead, and the weaker ones starts to fall further behind. But not Ben Coleman. Ben was left behind as soon as the starter gun sounded. Ben is not the fastest runner on the team. He's the slowest. And he has never won a single race the entire time he's been part of the Hannah High School cross-country track team. Ben, you see, has cerebral palsy. For those of you who don't know, cerebral palsy is a condition often caused by complications at birth, which usually affect someone's movement and balance. And those with CP often hold an unsteady posture, and these conditions can last up to a lifetime. And to an outsider, they might seem a little clumsy or even broken. The pack starts to pull further and further ahead, while Ben fell further and further behind. He slips on the wet grass and falls forward into the soft ground, picks himself back up, and keeps going. Down he goes again, and this time it hurts, pulls himself back up, and keeps going. Ben won't quit. The pack is now out of sight, and Ben is running alone. It's quiet, and the only thing you could hear is his own labored breathing. He feels lonely. Trips over his own feet, down he goes yet again. No matter his mental strength, there's no hiding the pain and frustration on his face. He grimaces and pulls himself back up, uses all his energy to pull himself back up, and keeps going. Ben won't quit. For Ben, this is part of the routine. While everybody else takes about 25 minutes to finish the race, usually takes Ben over 50 minutes. And when he eventually crosses the finish line, he's in pain and he's exhausted. It took every ounce of energy he had in him to make it. His body is bruised, his face is covered in blood and mud. Ben inspires us indeed. But this is not a story of when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. This is not a story of when you fall down, you pick yourself back up. You know, those are great lessons to learn without a shadow of a doubt, but we do not need Ben Coleman to teach us those lessons. There are dozens of others we can look to for such lessons. I had the privilege of participating and running in the Toronto Marathon last year, and I heard a story of an Olympic athlete who suffered a major injury literally weeks before the race, only to come back and win the whole event. But Ben's lesson is deeper. Something remarkable happens at about the 25th minute mark. When everybody else is done with their race, they all run back to run with Ben. Ben is the only runner in the entire race. When he falls down, there's somebody else to pick him up. Ben is the only runner who, when he crosses the finish line, there are 100 others crossing along with him and cheering him on. What Ben teaches us is special, which is when you compete against everybody else, nobody wants to help you. But when you compete against yourself, everyone wants to help you. Olympic athletes are competitors. They don't help one another. They're competitors. Ben starts every single race with a clear sense of why he's running. He's not there to beat anybody else. He's He's there to outdo himself. And every single time he runs, the only time Ben sets out to beat is his own. And the sense of why he's running is what gives him the strength to keep showing up and keep getting back up and do it again and again and again. Now, think of the mindset of which we show up in our lives. Are we always looking to be ranked number one every day? Are we always looking to beat our competition every day? Because that's a fixed mindset. That's a finite construction. Finite players show up to beat the people around them. Infinite players show up to be better than themselves. They wake up every day and say, how can we make our company a better version of itself this year than it was last year? How can we create a better product this week than we did last week? We also have to show up with a growth mindset. It's not always about beating your competition. It's not always about winning at every single table topic at Toastmasters. It's not always about beating somebody else. It's about outdoing ourselves. Because we are on competition. It's to wake up and coming to Toastmasters and say, how can I give a better speech this week than I did last month? How can I create a better product for my work this week than I did last week? The goal is not to be the best every day. The goal is to be better. This is what ensures that we keep coming to Toastmasters. This is what ensures that we find joy in everything we do. Because joy comes not from comparison, but from advancement. May we all learn from Ben Coleman and lead the change we seek to see in the world. Thank you very much.